He is also a member of the University of Tennessee Development Council. Please welcome Mr. A.C. Wharton.
Good morning. And to the principal, to the inductees, to Ms. Moffitt, Ms. Dedrick, and the others, and to all of you, and I cannot see out there, so if I make a particular remark that may be somewhat critical, I am not talking about you because I cannot see you. It is indeed an honor for me, and I say this not merely as a matter of filler, but because I really feel what we're taking part in here this morning. It's not very pleasant these days as I drive my 16-year-old to school each morning, and I compare the world that he is approaching with the world that I and other individuals my age have enjoyed. Because while I see many opportunities in the world to come, I see many problems. But problems are simply those things that call us all to our best. And certainly those traits that are the basis for the National Honor Society, character, scholarship, leadership, and service, will be called on very sorely in the years to come. I will restrict my remarks to 10 minutes. I have requested someone to wave as I approach 8 minutes to stay on schedule here. Let's approach it this way. To the honorees and the inductees, this is indeed a milestone or a hallmark in your careers, but it is merely the beginning. Do not view your induction into the Honor Society as the end. I have arrived. You are now entering the real world where character, where leadership, where scholarship and service will indeed be demanded of you. No longer can the inductees and your colleagues look to the future and suggest that I will lead in the future. For the time for young leadership is now. More so than ever, we need you. And I will elaborate on that in just a second. I read recently a quote from an outstanding writer by the name of Michael Harrington. He made this point, that advance in technology, which you certainly will see in your lives, without advance in social advance, that is improvement in our world, almost always leads to an increase in human misery. What I suggest to you is that all of your achievements, as worthy and lofty as they may be, as we increase our technological advances and position in the world, if we do not cast a wary eye on the conditions in which we live and the conditions in the world abroad, we're going to see at the same time an increase in human misery. And what that means to you then is that the degrees you obtain, the positions you reach in life, will not be as enjoyable, will not be as pleasant if you know that around you human misery is on the rise. And as we awake each morning, and when you open the paper and there's nothing positive there, there is strife, there is hate, there is violence all about us. The call should go out to you, and this focuses on leadership, and it comes back to the point I made a minute ago, that you cannot wait until tomorrow to become a leader. We need you to lead today. We need you to say, violence is stupid, people. We need you to say that violence, whether it's in South Memphis, whether it's on a subway in Long Island, whether it's in Bosnia, whether it's in a place of prayer in the Middle East, that violence is stupid. And it's amazing that how young people can say that. You can say it in a way that makes us listen, because we as adults are all too often those who are carrying out the violence. It's time for you to speak up and say, listen, folks, hatred is hatred. Hatred is hatred, whether it's Farrakhan, whether it's a man with a gun in the Middle East, whether it's robbery in South Memphis, whether it's in Bosnia, whatever. Hatred is hatred, and it's stupid. It's something we can live without. The whole idea of advancing yourselves economically and not being able to enjoy the advances of your struggle, your work, we're all prisoners. You earn more, but you enjoy less because our streets are rife with crime. You're prisoners in your own households. What good does it do you to make a good living, to get a good job, to buy a good house, to earn a good salary if you are prisoners in your house? We need you to speak up. This is the role of leadership today. You bring perspectives that we never think of. You see things from an angle that we never see because we have a vested interest to a degree in the way things are. Your future lies in the way things should be, not as they are. Only you can say that. That's the role of leadership. Poverty has no place in our society. This is one of the richest nations of the world. We need to send out the word that we all can live a comfortable living. I can live a comfortable living without taking from you. For you to progress does not mean that I have to fail. For me to have justice does not mean that you must have injustice. For me to have opportunity does not mean that you have to do without opportunity. We all can have, we all can share in this great promise of America, but it's going to take you, the leaders of today, not tomorrow, to get us to see this. What I would like to leave you with is just a very basic and simple reality. We all have problems. We've all had problems. You'll have problems. We all have dreams. And sometimes in an effort to get away from the problems, we fast forward into the dreams. But I'd like for you to remember this, that somewhere between yesterday's problems and tomorrow's dreams lies today's opportunity. Don't waste it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wharton. At this time, I would like to welcome a man who truly needs no introduction at Germantown High School, our principal, Mr. Ernest Chism.
Good morning. Apples, oranges, bread, milk. Oh, that's my grocery list. Just a minute. No, seriously, I had a long speech to make, but Mr. Wharton said it so well, I see no reason to repeat it. But I do want to congratulate Lisa for all the work she has done, and especially Ms. Dedrick and Ms. Ruth Dunning and Frank Bluestein and all the students in Poplar Pike Playhouse. These kinds of things don't happen without a lot of work and planning, and I know they've worked very hard. In spite of ice storms, measles inoculations, basketball tournaments we didn't want, and other delays, I'm sure that all of you have been anxiously awaiting this morning. Again, let me just congratulate very briefly those of you that were inducted this morning. I hope you listened very closely to what Mr. Wharton said. There's a lot of good advice in there, and certainly you are getting ready to enter into a world that has many, many problems, many more than when I was your age or many of the people in this room. I had some individuals that I was going to tell some stories about. There's at least one in this room I've known since she was in diapers and watched her grow up and watched her do so many things. Excuse me, so many things that both she and her parents and teachers and administrators can be very proud of, but time doesn't permit. I do thank those of you that did come this morning. We know everyone has a busy schedule, but I'm sure that the time was well spent. I know that your sons and daughters appreciate it immensely, even if they don't sometime say so. In closing, let me ask those of you that were inducted, and those two that were nominated, that for whatever reason did not get inducted this morning. It takes a lot of time, effort, money, and other things to allow you the opportunity to have done the things that you had to do to be inducted to the National Honor Society. When you get home this afternoon or this evening, whatever the case might be, you might give mom and dad a big hug, and just a simple thank you will probably be enough. Again, congratulations. Thanks to all the people that made this program happen, and I hope I haven't talked too long, and I hope we're still on schedule. And again, congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chism. Today we are proud to welcome Mrs. Frances Hightower, who co-sponsored the National Honor Society for 20 years before retiring. Will you please stand, Ms. Hightower? Thank you for coming. I would also like to thank the National Honor Society members, faculty, and especially Mrs. Blanche Dedrick and Mr. Frank Bluestein. That concludes the 1994 induction ceremony for the National Honor Society. All inductees remain seated for further instruction. Everyone else, thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoyed today's ceremony.